Confidence is contagious, but so is doubt. And you can feel it the minute that you walk into a store. Think of the manager he comes in energy steady, dialed in, focused, ready to go. His team can feel it. And as soon as he walks in, you can see it. They stand a little taller, they laugh a little louder, they move and work faster. On the other hand, you got another manager walks in just frustrated, angry, negative. And his team, they can feel it. They absorb that energy and they just tighten up like a rubber band. Because at the end of the day, leadership is and always has been emotional transmission. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer, and your team is catching your temperature every single day. I'm Chris Hunsaker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership Fire, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today I want to dive into a very specific structure on how you can start transferring some of the most important wealth that you possess. And I'm not talking about your money, I'm talking about your confidence. So let's dive in. We've talked about how confidence is like a bank account, and it's built by mental deposits. And by now, you've already rebuilt your own account. You made the deposits, you fought the inner war, you built the mental fortress. And now it's time to transfer that wealth to your team, because your people just don't learn from what you say. They learn from the energy that you bring into every room you walk into. So here's a hard truth, that your team's confidence, belief will rise or fall based on your level of certainty, not your level of demand. How can they have certainty in their future when you're walking around uncertain about yours? So we need to look at, how do you multiply your confidence across your entire team? And we're going to start by giving you 3 dealership tested multipliers that you can use to start transferring the confidence and the wealth that you have into your team and turn that into execution and results. Multiplier number 1 is model calm certainty. The Greeks called this euthymity, an energized tranquility. Calm inside, absolutely ready to act. And your team is always watching you. How are you going to respond under pressure? Who's the real you that's going to come out? When the deal falls through, when the month gets tight, when there's pressure from upstairs, you see it's under pressure when your leadership actually gets revealed. And when you stay calm, centered, confident in the middle of the storm, what you're doing is you're giving your team permission to do exactly the same thing. You're literally saying, watch me, follow me. You have permission to stay calm because I'm calm. Now, let's quit focusing on the storm and let's execute on building the shelter. Confidence doesn't mean fake positivity. It's a quiet strength that says, we've been here before and we'll figure it out. That's what creates trust. And that is what multiplies belief. And that's why this is multiplier number 1. Multiplier number 2, catch people doing things right. In most stores, the only time a salesperson hears from the manager is when they screw up. That's not leadership. It's policing, parenting at best. You want to multiply confidence? Then catch people doing things right. Reinforce effort and not just results. Zinzer says the fastest way to build confidence is to remind people of what's already working. Every compliment is a deposit. Every acknowledgement is I see you, and you're growing. And what this does is, over time, each of those compliments stack on each other. They compound on each other. And that's what takes and turns you into belief, and belief turns into certainty, and certainty turns into execution. Multiplier number 3, learn to speak the language of we, especially under stress, especially when it's hard. Confidence turns into culture when you can make that shift from me to we. We can handle this. We know what to do. We win together. This subtle shift is what really allows you to turn and shift your store from a collection of individuals into a united front. It's the same principle used by elite military units, championship teams, and high-performing dealerships. They have a language of shared identity, because when you feel like you belong to something bigger than yourself, you perform better. It's a true principle. Feeling like something bigger or belonging to something bigger always makes you perform better, because all of us we're willing to do more for others than we'll ever do for ourselves. That's what causes us to raise our standards, to step forward. And when I know, or your team knows, that you believe in them, it gives them permission to start believing in themselves. If you want your people to believe more in themselves, then you as a leader need to believe more in them. Here's a leadership truth. Confidence is taught by transmission. You don't tell your team they can win. You show them what winning feels like. And the leader's energy becomes the team's energy. The team's energy becomes the customer experience. And the customer experience becomes the dealership brand. And if you want help transferring your wealth to your team, getting them to turn belief into daily actions. Then text confidence to the number that you see on the screen, and we'll give you immediate access to our AI execution tool. It's the same tool that I use to help dealers implement these ideas every single day in all the dealerships that I work in. Because at the end of the day, confidence isn't built by talk. It's built by tools, training, and action. Speaking of action, let's cross the execution bridge. Your challenge for today is pick one person on your team that's struggling in their confidence. Maybe they're just doubting themselves. Maybe they're in a slump. Maybe they're just having a hard time. And I want you to pull them aside and remind them of one or more times when they absolutely aced it, when they were at their best, when they really had it down. And I want you to pour belief into them, not because of their numbers, but because of their effort. And not because of who they are right now, but who they've been. Remind them of their excellence and pull that forward into the present. This is your question for today, is looking out across your floor, across your store, and maybe across your living room in your home life. And I want you to ask yourself this question: who needs to borrow my belief until they can get back their own? That is going to allow you to transform how you look at your people, where you need to intervene, and what it is that you need to do, because your ability to pour into them, to help them get that confidence until they have their own, is your ability to drive execution in your store and drive connection at home. Confidence isn't a solo sport. It's the multiplier that transforms cultures. And when your team starts to believe again, the numbers will follow. So if the numbers aren't quite where you want to be, you want to drive the numbers, then start by driving the belief. Because whenever the effect is missing, so is the cause. And if the effect of numbers aren't there, the cause of belief isn't either. Change the cause and you change the effect. And if you're ready to take this to another level, to multiply confidence, creativity, and execution across your entire store, then I would invite you to join the Velocity Mastermind. Click on the link below or simply text Mastermind to the number that you see on the screen. We'll send you a page, we'll get you started, and you can become part of a tribe that's absolutely transforming automotive retail. But for today, whether you're at home this evening or in work, I want you to look out across your floor and say, who needs to borrow my confidence until they can get some of their own? Because that's what real leaders do, is they build the confidence, the faith, the ability to execute in those they love at home and those they love at work. So go out today, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.